All right, so here we are with a new seed. As you can see, I took a little bit of damage because I spawned in a tree, which happens more often than not. Normally, I just jump down the edge of the tree or mine my way down. I don't know, break my way down to the bottom of the tree, but this time there was a bit of a drop and ended up getting damaged. But oh well. Anyways, so we went on our way to go and find the village that thankfully wasn't terribly far. It was also set up in a plains biome, which is, as I've determined, probably my favorite, mainly just because of the color of grass that you deal with. So that definitely is kind of nice. The savanna ones in general are kind of cool setups. My biggest issue is just the fact that the grass is just kind of not as nice a shade as this one, but you know, beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day, as long as we finally beat hardcore mode. Anyways, so yeah, it was kind of a cool mountain cap nearby the village, as you can sort of see to your left. I feel like a tour guide as I'm giving you directions to this village. But yeah, so it was kind of a good sized village. It had a librarian pre-built in it and this cool mine shaft that was kind of nearby that I quickly ran around and grabbed as many of the rails as possible. So that was nice. I also didn't die while I was clearing out the mine shaft, which was an exciting adventure for me, considering the fact that that's how I normally go out in these expeditions is to skeletons inside the mine shaft. But yeah, so I survived many creepers and I even was able to take on some skeletons and some zombies. Don't like to brag. I'm feeling pretty confident about it. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of ran around and grabbed as many of the rails as possible just because I knew that I would need them for the iron farm. That it's the same version that I did last time. You'll see it later on. But yeah, so I did the same kind of version. This is my escape route in case something goes south, because that's what normally happens. I found a skeleton or a spider spawner. What is it? A cave spider spawner or whatever. Anyways, so I found that, which took me out a couple of episodes ago. Not a couple of episodes ago, many episodes ago. It's how I died. Double checked to make sure that I could use shears on cobwebs, and I tried to place a couple of torches close, and I slowly moved forward because I know that now you have to have 0 level in order for them to spawn, so I might have just gotten really lucky that this spawner had just enough light to prevent any spiders from spawning on it. But yeah, I didn't actually run into any issues with any of the cave spiders when I was wandering around, which was kind of exciting because that happens a lot. I thought you could turn spider webs into string, but apparently that's not a thing. So that was a bit of a disappointment because that'd been kind of nice, getting plenty of it. And then I went on with mining and found an ancient city, which was kind of cool. This was the closest I had actually gotten to an ancient city because it was right there. So that was really exciting. You could sort of see a couple of the catalysts and treasures down there. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. I might actually be able to go exploring in this one, as opposed to the other ones where I can just look at it from a distance and go, oh yeah, there it is, way over there. Kind of cool. So yeah, it was also pretty big. I don't know what size these are normally set to, but yeah, it was nice and big, which was cool. I don't like how dark they are and the fact that placing down torches makes noises. Oh yeah, you can see the iron farm that I made. As with the last one, there's a link to the description of the iron farm since I did not come up with the design. I did find there was a comment in their video saying that it works best if you put slabs below, and I did find it. My biggest issue was the fact that when I set it up for this go, I accidentally set it too close to my village, So in order to make it work properly, I kind of had to stand on the far side of my village and just wait there for the hopes that something would happen. So anyways, I did make a portal. This was mostly made out of a ruined portal that I just went and collected it because it was pretty far away and I kind of wanted it closer to my village. And I spawned kind of near a salt biome. All this armor that I have on I traded for. And then I took some glowstone and I stuck it near this blaze spawner because I know that for overworld, I don't know what to call it, mainland places, you can adjust the light so that things don't spawn. Because I'd like to try and make a blaze farm, but I haven't figured out how to get them to stop spawning. I don't know if it's possible, but I figured I'd give it a shot. So if you know if that's even possible, please let me know down below. But yeah, so I sort of opened up this little opening on the side, and surprisingly, the blazes occasionally would just walk up the side of it, which was kind of cool. See, this guy kind of pops up, and then I would just shoot them. I would hit them from here. The biggest issue that I ran into while I was doing it was the fact that you can't really see it here, but a baby piglin, I want to say, started or came in and is kind of hooked up near there, and so I took my sword and I started attacking him to prevent from, dying, but then I accidentally hit him, which isn't good because it made him mad at me and he nearly killed me. Thankfully, he got stuck right there, and so I was able to take him out. But I know from other videos that I've watched, I blocked that off so no blazes can hit me, and he was stuck, so I felt safe enough to eat and kind of chill out there for a little bit. But I know from other people's videos that if you hit one of them, it makes them all mad, and so I was nervous that there were some nearby, so I blocked off that opening so that none of them could get me while I got the rest of the stuff I needed for my blazes. And then when I had enough time, I went back to the ancient city to kind of go scope around in there. There weren't too many of the warden summoning blocks near where this was, and the few I surrounded by wool, which was kind of cool. So if you have any suggestions about exploring these better, leave them down below, because I covered them. I don't know if you have to cover them fully on all sides with wool, or if you can just cover all of the exposed sides with wool. I didn't really get a chance to test that out, which was a disappointment. I also know that I think I mentioned it last time, but I heard that they had kind of nerfed how much experience you can get with these. So anyways, but yeah, while I'm wandering around here, if you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. Maybe one day we'll beat this and then we'll be able to do something, I don't know, casual. Maybe build something fun without the fear of dying. After many moons of trading with villagers and getting some blazes and getting my gear all set and forming a plan as to how I was going to do it, I accidentally launched off 2 of my eyes and eventually made my way to the stronghold, which was kind of nice. I accidentally towered down a little too far. I tried to shoot for the top part mainly because of the silverfish incident from a couple of videos back, the first time I reached the stronghold and died. So anyways, instead of entering it into it the main way like a normal human being, we tend to go through the roof because it just allows us to kind of scope the area out, make sure that we don't have any silverfish that can access us. After taking out the spawner and running away so the silverfish would despawn, and then coming back, we placed the Eye of Ender into the proper spot to open up the portal, and braced ourselves for the fight that was about to go down. You can see all of my building blocks and the food that I have. We looked into it, hoped for the best, and just set sail and went for it. Anyways, oh yeah, that was the coordinates. Anyways, yeah, so then after grabbing all the stuff that we needed, we just kind of went for it. I would probably say that I should have had more food on me than normal. I opened up inside of a box. I still haven't had the fully exposed location that I'm used to seeing. It could just be me, but I guess, or it could be the version. I don't know. I just feel like almost all of the ones that I've gone to have been more exposed, like a platform that people had to, I've never been to one, but a platform that they've had to kind of tower over to. This one took me a while to get up and out of it, but I also kind of discovered the fact that I'm really good at being a mole in these situations. So an Enderman started chasing after me, and I kind of had already built this little hole in the ground, and so I was able to kind of hide around in here, and that was basically my strategy. I would go run around on the top and kind of shoot at things, and then I would duck back into the holes. And then I had to go for the cages, which I did look up and see how to do it. You just have to use a pickaxe and do it, and I was on the cusp of reaching it when the dragon knocked me off, and I survived and quickly ate some of my fruit and made myself a new hole where I went and hid. And so then I came up with this new strategy where we slowly towered our way up to the top, building up the walls as we went. You can see just barely reaching it. And that is how I went up the side of this tower that had a cage for it, was slowly just making my way up until it was within reason, hoping that the dragon wouldn't shoot me to the ground, which, nearly happened a couple of times, but eventually I was able to break it. And then I also didn't know how far back, so I kind of hid back there and hoped for the best. And then the dragon did its dragon's breath, but I was able to just kind of shoot down. And then I unfortunately angered those two Endermen by accidentally glancing at them. And so I was going to build a new hole for me to hide in, but since there were two on me, I didn't really have any space that I could kind of go in, so I quickly tried to do it. Instead of turning around and fighting them, I just was like, nah, we're running. And I was like, oh, I should go back to one of my previous locations. And so I started running in that direction. I went for the food and died.